has been a rock star on supporting me on understanding better business principles, networking, really making my talent shine, and of course, growing and building my business.
She's helped me out tremendously. My presence, I was very, very shy. Now they can't shut me up.
Who is Toni Harris Taylor?
So my name is Toni Harris Taylor. I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results, Marketing and Sales Coaching.
The coaching has been very awesome with Toni. It gives me the confidence to speak in front of people and let people know my business.
She is amazing. She has a heart to serve. She has a heart for people, and she does wonders for every single individual that I've come across.
I help service-based entrepreneurs to get known, get connected, and get paid.
She actually connects you, and because of the connections that I have made through Toni, my business has just exploded.
My business has grown, I would have to say at least 50%. There has been an increase, and I haven't even made my year yet. Through her help, I have been able to earn 6 figures. And because of her teaching, for me getting out of my comfort zone, I've been able to be on a national television show. Not only that, she gave me the courage to start commercials in our community.
I'm also a multi-unit, award-winning franchise owner for Network in Action, Global Partners, where I bring business owners together to help them to build relationships, grow their business, grow their network, have communities, and build relationships that last a lifetime.
Caring, effective, connected. That's Toni Harris Taylor. But what is Toni's connection to Africa?
In 2019, April 2019, I was invited to speak in Toronto, Canada. And one of the things I teach my clients is anytime you travel, call a networking meeting with the people that you know in the city. Well, I didn't really have a network in Toronto except for the lady who invited me to speak. So I was on Facebook one day in a Facebook group, and a lady named Whitney posted herself on the side of a bus. Her picture on the side of the city bus. And in the little location area, itty bitty location area in Facebook, it said Burlington, Ontario. And I was like, wow, she lives where I'm going. So I'm paying attention. Anyway, we had a call. She said, why are you coming? I told her about the event I was coming to. I introduced her to the lady who was hosting the event. She bought a sponsorship table. I helped her get ready for her sponsorship table. It turns out that Whitney is a very, very, very multi-million-dollar successful financial professional. So when we get to Toronto, she sets up her booth across from me, and we are fast friends. We've talked many times before I even get there. And at that point, she invited me to be her MC at her gala. And so she flew me back out in November 2019, and we just began to become really great friends. And I have been the NC for this event. This will be my 5th year this year. Last year, during the breakout sessions, one of the ladies I had met in previous years said, I'm so excited, I'm going to Nairobi. We're leaving next week. And I was like, I want to go to Nairobi. She said, I'm going to introduce you to the lady who planned the session. So I contacted that lady, and the timing didn't work. But in the meantime, I had asked my girlfriend Star if she wanted to go with me. And she said, I know somebody that not only takes groups to Nairobi, but he puts on a conference so you can be a speaker. Then it's a business write-off. So the idea was born at the event with Whitney, but when I told my friend Star, who I met networking years ago, that I wanted to go, she introduced me to Ruben, and that's how we got to Nairobi. And Star said, well, my mom's always wanted to have a dream trip to Africa. And I'm like, well, let's take our mothers. And I asked my mother if she wanted to go, and Star brought her mother. and I brought my mother, and neither one of us could have dreamed that we would be able to afford to go to Africa and take our mothers. But through connections, that's how we ended up in Nairobi, and it was all networking that got me there.
Drastic. It is Toni's brand, but to understand why, you need to know her story.
My story begins when I was 24 years old, and I got a call from my mother, who had launched her business a few years prior, and she said, "Toni, I need another trainer. I want you to quit your job and come work for me." Whose mother does that?
Well, I had gotten a contract with Shell in Deer Park, and that contract was with Windows 95. Windows 95, way back when Windows first got started. And so I had many classes that I had to teach, and I couldn't do them all by myself. So I knew that you had the gusto to be able to do that, even though you had never trained in your life. You never really sat down and talked to me about training. I never knew whether you even was interested in that thing or not, but I knew in the back of my mind that was something that you could do. So I called you and I said, "Look, I need you. I need your help. So quit that job at Exxon and come and work for me."
And I at first said, "No way." But my mom said something to me that to this day, I still live by. She said, "What is the worst that could happen? You could always go back to that job, but what if I'm right?"
And I quit, trusted her, and she threw me in, and I dog pedaled, and I loved the training. I love computers, I love the software, I love training, and I didn't even know that was something that was within me.
But that was my first entree into serious entrepreneurship, and I'm here to tell you, my mother was right.
Okay, so you've watched my journey. You have watched me go from computer training to financial advising, back to training, now to coaching. What do you think of all you've seen me go through in my entrepreneurial journey?
Well, it's been tough. It's been very hard because things fall in and things fall out. You don't have a steady road all the time when you're an entrepreneur. You have to kind of decide what it is that you really want to do and make those changes and make the transitions as life changes. So as technology starts coming in, as new plans and new things start coming in, you have to change your mindset, and that is very difficult. So I have watched you give up, I have watched you give in, I have watched you turn things around, and it's all a process. And that process you've done very well.
Well, you've been very supportive. No matter what crazy, drastic idea I come up with, you're like, "Go for it, I'm here. If you need me, let me know." And I appreciate you in this journey. But here we are standing in Africa. How do you feel knowing that it was my business that brought us to this place?
Well, I'm very grateful. I'm very appreciative for you. Number one, that you even wanted me to come with you to Africa. Number two, to be able to get all of the experience that Africa gives you in this little short period of time that we've been here. I mean, it hasn't been, months, but the days that we've been here, we have enjoyed a lot. And so I think that is really, really great. And it's like you have given me what I gave you. So it really works out well.
It has come around full circle. And my mom saw me when I was driving Uber. And listen, I want to be clear, I didn't drive Uber for years. It was a couple of months. I didn't like it, and I had to figure something else out really quickly. But she's seen me go from Uber to Africa and through all life's changes as well. And so she's just seen me through a whole lot of things. And you saw enough in me to believe in me 30 plus years ago to even just say, I think you would be a great trainer, and brought me into entrepreneurship. And now all these people, even here in Africa, get to benefit from the legacy
that you implanted in me. So I want to say thank you. Well, you're so welcome. I love it.
My mother has been my influence for many years, and she still is a 40-plus year entrepreneur. And she taught me that entrepreneur comes in different shapes and sizes. She never wanted to be a CEO, a traditional CEO with team and staff, and she's always been a solopreneur, and she's been the hardest working person that I know.
She is my hero, my shero when it comes to this entrepreneurship journey.
Her hero, her shero. Toni's mother was her inspiration. Now it was Toni's turn to make something happen.
Once I figured out that this was my thing, I started getting my own contracts. And I got a contract with a financial services company called Valak. Valak had me traveling around the country teaching their financial advisors how to use this new beast that they had issued called a laptop. So as I was traveling around the country, the advisors would say to me, "Oh, with your personality, you should do what we do." What do y'all do? We invest people's money for retirement. I don't do investments. I do computers. I don't know anything about investment. I don't know anything about sales. I don't have licenses. I only have a high school diploma. I had all the reasons why not. Until one day, an advisor in Florida came to me and said, "Toni, seriously, I have this perfect territory for you. I think you'll love Florida. Why don't you just come check it out?" So I did. And he was right. It was perfect for me. I met with the management team. They said that I would be perfect in that role, even though I had none of the experiences that they were looking for. They liked me. And so I took the drastic step, came home. My husband and I, we sold our home, and we moved from Houston to Florida. I drove 36,000 miles my first year trying to make that business work in very adverse conditions, not knowing what I was doing, not feeling worthy because I didn't even have a degree, but what I had was relationships. And so that first year I drove 36,000 miles. I signed up 400 people in the retirement plan and was able to qualify for a Hawaiian sales conference trip. 4 years in, I get recruited to be an associate district manager. Now I still have a high school diploma. I'm still usually the only Black woman in the room. And they asked me to write the associate manager program for the national organization. And during that time, recruiting new advisors was one of my duties. And someone said, "Okay, Toni, now you've got to start networking." So I was like, okay. So I was now doing public networking. Before I was doing it inside of the agencies that I served, but now I had to go out into the public and network. And so I'd go to these events and I would pass out my business card. You get a card, you get a card, you get a card. And I'd meet some wonderful people and they'd say, "Oh, we're gonna get together and see how we can help each other." So I'd go back to my office, sit at my desk, and wait for the phone to ring. Phone never rang. So in 2005, I meet this coach who says, "Pay me $6,000 for my 8-week course, and I'll teach you how to network the right way." $6,000, lady? Get out of here. That's a lot of money for an 8-week course. But I wanted to be successful. I knew I wasn't gonna cold call or knock on doors. There was no social media at that time. And so I was desperate to make networking work. So I withdrew the money, drastic step, withdrew the money from my retirement plan and gave her $6,000. The strategies she taught me then are the strategies and then some that I teach my clients now, and really get to know how relationship building worked. One of the groups that they gave me was a small nonprofit, had less than 10 employees, but the executive director took a liking to me and I to her. And she hadn't had a full financial plan, and she had just gotten a big divorce settlement from her ex-husband. And she asked me to take a look at it. And I built a relationship, a deep connection with this lady. Long story short, she loved me, I loved her, and we built a connection, such a connection that she gave me a check for $983,000. I made a $50,000 commission from that one sale. Now think about it. I started back in Florida, driving 36,000 miles, taking $10 applications, to closing my financial career with a $50,000 paycheck, all based on relationships.
Through many ups and downs, Toni finally found her footing. She found her confidence. She found her why and was ready to take it to a drastic level.
Through networking, I met a lady named Amy. Amy was with Constant Contact, the email marketing company. And she observed my energy and she approached me about becoming a Constant Contact solution provider, which is a contract position, but they actually paid me to speak and paid me residual on sales. And so right after my husband passed away, I went full force with Constant Contact. Through connections, through networking, I was able to become an international speaker, traveling to Canada twice to speak on behalf of Constant Contact. I had made over 350 accounts and was making over $4,000 a month in residual income and speaking fees with Constant Contact. And I rode that train until the train came to a screeching halt in 2016. I struggled from 2016 to 2019. I did Legal Shield, I did Mary Kay, I did Planet Marketing, travel. And then in 2018, I drove Uber. I didn't know what to do. What I knew for sure though, is I wanted a business that could run without me, and I wanted residual income. But I didn't know what else to do. I knew I didn't want to build drastic results without it being something that I could sell later on. So I tapped into my network and started looking for a job. And I knew I didn't want a job, but these jobs were six-figure jobs. I now have my degrees, and so I'm like, I'll just see what the job market is. And I thought about what Zig Ziglar said. He said, you can have everything you want when you help enough people get what they want. I was like, that's it. Because since taking networking coaching in 2005, I learned to become a connector. And I've been the president of other people's organizations, and I had grown their organizations, and I just loved making introductions and watching those introductions flourish. But I didn't know I could make money at that. So I told her, I went back to her and I said, I come up with my why. My why is to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps, to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource, I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. When Helen heard that I was a business coach, she said, oh my gosh, you should be a Network in Action franchise owner. I was like, I'm in BNI and I've heard of Network in Action, but a franchise? How much is that franchise? And they have franchises for that? She said, oh yeah, it's $40,000, like it was nothing. And I'm like, lady, I'm looking for a job. No, I don't have $40,000. And I just kind of blew it off. At the end of the event, she said, I'm gonna follow up with you. Well, I typically, what I teach my clients is to book appointments on the spot. And I did not book an appointment with her because I was in a state of confusion. But I had shown up anyway because I knew I needed to keep showing up even though I was confused on my future. So she didn't follow up with me until 3 months later, 1 week after the conversation with Carol. Toni, I hope you remember me. This is Helen. We met at the women's retreat. I promised to follow up with you, and I've been putting it off, but I still think you should be a Network in Action franchise owner. Would you like to meet Scott, the franchisor? I said, Helen, I do remember you. Thank you for calling me. I'm waiting on 2 job offers. I don't have $40,000. No, thank you. She said, Toni, please don't take a job without talking to Scott. Just talk to him. Met Scott. Instant connection. Brother from another mother. Everything I had said that I didn't have to Carol the week before, he had in the franchise system. All I had to do was give him $40,000 and we could go. What I learned from that, though, is that when people like you, they'll make concessions for you. It happened when I was in financial services. It happened all along my journey. And now it's happening with Scott.
It was time for the trip of a lifetime, the trip to Africa for Toni and her mother.
We are on our way to Nairobi from Dubai. Lots of lessons learned. We have booked on the Spirit Airlines of the Middle East. Yeah, I don't really roll like this, so this is quite interesting, but as long as we get there safely, just interesting. And now they're boarding the flight, but I think we have to get on a bus to go to a plane. I'm not understanding. But this is quite an adventure, so as long as we get there safely in one piece, I think we're good. You want to say anything, Mother? Don't fly Air. Don't fly Air Arabia. Emirates from this point forward. Bye. Hey, this is Toni, and we are at Rift Valley. It says the Great Rift Valley from Mozambique to the Red Sea, so 3,000 miles. So we are here at the Masi Mara Lodge, and it is really nice. Looking for the Big Five. I'm just learning what the Big Five is. Zebra, lion, wildebeest. Let's see what else. Oh, rhino. Can't remember what the 5th one is. Google it. What's up? What's going on? See, they get on my nerves. I said move. I'd be pissed off too. I done hunted this food, and you just gonna come up here and move me out the way? Because they must push them out the way. You think they would have moved if they didn't push them out the way?
Are they supposed to be out like that? Now this is out here. Thank y'all. But like, are they supposed to be out?
Can I just say #grateful? #very grateful. Wow. The fact that I am here in Kenya. I don't know what town we're in now. We drove 5 hours, by the way, driving. That's a whole nother chapter. It is beautiful. The people are wonderful. It's just really nice to have some peace and serenity out here in Africa. From Uber to Africa. What are the drastic steps that got me here? And y'all know drastic is my theme of my life. It's the theme I teach my clients. And it just means getting out of your comfort zone, doing things you need to do to have what you want to have. And if you had told me in 2019, before NIA, even when NIA first came, and then 2020 when the pandemic hit, if you had told me that my business and my life would come out like this, I would have been like, you are crazy. I also know what I teach is real, that relationships change things. And it's so true. For me to go from driving Uber, trying several MLMs, trying to figure out where I belong in this personal, professional development space, and then finding my place, I am so #grateful. So we're going to explore drastic, what it takes to be drastic. We're going to talk to some of the people here. They don't even know the word drastic the way I use it yet, but they will. And we're going to hear what their drastic stories are as entrepreneurs. What got them here? I hope that you guys are getting inspired to continue to be drastic in your life, in your business, no matter whether you work in corporate, being drastic to climb up the ladder. If you are an entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, you're going to learn a lot about getting out of your comfort zone. And today, I'm reaping some of the benefits. So we'll talk soon. Thanks.
From Uber to Africa. It was a journey of growth that brought Toni Harris Taylor to who she is today.
This past 7 years has been an amazing journey. One I could not have scripted myself.
It all started with me showing up in a state of confusion, registering for an event where I didn't know anybody except the host, driving 5 hours, and somebody following up with me. Today, I'm happy to say I am Scott's first ever Rookie of the Year. I own 11 groups. We are growing our groups globally. I am his 2021 brand ambassador. I am his 2022 Community Service Franchisee of the Year. I have leaders that are growing groups under my brand, and I am on a mission to help as many entrepreneurs that I can stay in business through relationships.
To go from having the rug pulled from under me, my income dropping drastically, me trying to figure out the direction to go, trying this thing and that thing, and just in the nick of time, network in action came into my life.
Now, I am living the dream. I've been able to employ my daughter full-time as an employee. I have a full-time employee in the Philippines. I have many contractors that I'm able to invest in their business to help me to grow my business. I am so grateful for this journey. And the journey is not over. It's just continuing to grow and to progress.
So now that we've gone from Uber to Africa, my mama's talking about going to Greece and Italy now, so I got to keep working so that we can make that happen. Wherever she wants to go, she gets to go. I also want to say a special thank you to my family who has supported me. My mother, no matter how drastic the idea was, she's like, okay, I got you. And she was always there being my cheerleader. My children who have seen my struggle, felt it, been right there with me. For me to be able to now hire my daughter and put her on payroll so that she can be a stay-at-home mom for my grandchildren, that's priceless. And I want to say thank you to every one of my clients who trusted me with their business trusted me to help them learn how to become an awesome networker so that they could build a business of their dreams, make the money they desire, so that they can make the impact that they want.
The stories I have imparted to you had a theme in common, and that all the decisions I made were drastic. They were uncomfortable. They forced me out of my comfort zone. And as a result, I stand in Africa. The journey has not been easy. It has not been perfect. Have I doubted myself in the process? Yes. Have I doubted people? Yes. Have people let me down? Yes. Have I taken out loans and gotten into debt to fund my dreams? Yes. Have things backfired on me? Yes. And I still stand here with a determination to continue to be drastic, to teach my community how to be drastic, how to go to their next level. But I want to encourage you to always be drastic, to think about the next drastic step you need to take in order to grow your life, in order to take your business to the next level. I need you to know that you can hitch your wagon to someone like me, the coach that connects, who can open doors for you to introduce you to people, places, and things, even my new friends here in Africa.
And to every entrepreneur out there who wants to quit, who wants to give up, my message is don't. Just keep showing up, building connections, be likable so someone will want to help you. Have a network you can lean on. Build that network before you need them. Because I guarantee you, when you need them, they will be there for you because you've already been there for them.
You can't do this journey alone. You have to keep showing up. When you show up, you're going to meet people that can help you to grow. My saying is show up,
Be up,
Follow up.
and your business and your life will blow up.
Don't be afraid to be drastic.
This is Toni Harris Taylor saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And remember, from Uber to Africa, what's going to be your story?